My next guest rose to fame at the age of 15 as a singer with band leader Xavier Cugat, and then went on to become an international star, an actress, singer, dancer. Dynamic is a good word for Abby Lane.
Thank you.
I don't know where that...
I feel like I should use castanets or a fan or something.
Oh, do.
That's usually, of course, you know, the Latin image has always been typecast. I've always been typecast as a fiery...
But you're not.
No.
You're from Brooklyn, aren't you?
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, but I grew up in Manhattan. But once you get a, you know, an image, it's very hard to get rid of it.
But you had to learn the language of working with that band. I mean, just being around it.
Oh, for self-defense, I had to learn it. But then, of course, I went to Italy, and I learned Italian because I made films there. And
weren't you doing a variety show in Europe? Or haven't you been for the last...
Well, no, you mean currently in the past year or so? No, we started to film a talk variety show, a bilingual, in other words, an English version and a Spanish version. We're still in the process of doing that for syndicated cable syndication. And I found myself on the other side of the chair doing what you're doing, not as well as you do it. But it was interesting because I did not ask the questions everyone asked of me, was ever asked of me. I tried to get into, for instance, I interviewed Joan Rivers, and we really had an in-depth kind of thing. I think because it was two women, she was able to go into a lot more.
Yeah, it would be easier, I think, to penetrate
much more.
Because Joan is thinking funny, and happily for her, it works. And
I
it's
think
tough to do a serious interview with people who... I tried that several times, and I've had some success with people who are very, very funny, but I think when they're conditioned to hearing an audience laugh, they don't want to stay in a serious vein. They want to go for a joke.
Unless it's in this kind of situation where there's not
not an audience,
a studio audience, then she felt much more relaxed. We did most of the shows in Las Vegas, and then we went out into the street and also did quotes, civilians, people, non-show business type of people. Went up in a hot air balloon and a little mixed with everything. And of course the language, being able to do it in Spanish, we felt it would have a great interest for the Latin Americans. And then we used Latin artists who would have a name in the foreign countries.
Who are the hot Latin artists right now?
Well, I think as far as South America, probably worldwide, it would be a singer called Julio Iglesias. He's very, very popular. And still, mostly singers.
Who would you compare him with as far as popularity goes in this country? With the Kenny Rogers?
Yes, yes.
Is that hot?
Yes. Oh, he's #1. In fact, in certain areas in this country, he's become very much of a fad or cult, whatever, with the young girls who don't even understand what he's singing about.
Would we have seen him on television here? Because I occasionally watch that station, that Latin station, which is
because he's very, very careful about what kind of exposure he has. I think he would like to eventually come to Las Vegas or someplace, do a concert at maybe the Universal Amphitheater, something like that. So he's been very careful. He has good management of just how much exposure he's allowing himself to have.
How about the Latin women? Who would be the hottest Latin star?
You mean beside me?
Besides you.
No, I don't really know. That I haven't kept up with. As far as motion pictures, I just am aware of the Latin singers because I see them at different song festivals that I go to.
You're musical, that's
yes,
the reason.
That's true.
We're going to continue with Abby Lane. We'll be right back right after these messages.